All right, welcome back for another deep dive. Today's word is permeate.
Permeate.
Yeah, like how a smell can just kind of permeate a whole room. It spreads out and gets everywhere. And yeah, it's interesting how some of our childhood memories kind of do the same thing in our minds.
Mm-hmm.
They really stick with us.
Yeah, they really do.
And that's kind of what we're going to be looking at today. What is it about certain memories from when we were kids that makes them so persistent?
They just stick with you.
Yeah. So we've got some interesting material here that explores this question. Why do these particular moments from our past become so ingrained? It's like they're just there.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's not just random recall. There's something deeper going on.
It seems like there's a reason.
The material suggests that these lasting memories often highlight how much we've grown and changed.
Yeah, like how much we've developed since then.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into it. What does this material say about why some of these moments just seem to get stuck in our mental landscape?
Well, what stood out to me is this idea that these memories kind of act like markers of our personal evolution.
Huh, interesting.
Almost like a before and after snapshot.
Right.
They give us this comparison, often unconsciously, between who we were back then and who we are now.
Yeah, you don't even realize it.
Right.
And the source even gives this example that a lot of us can probably relate to. I know I can. It's this memory of being completely overwhelmed at a birthday party as a kid.
Oh, I can imagine.
Homework's hanging over your head, and you just end up crying in front of the teacher.
Oh, no.
Clutching a Game Boy backpack.
The Game Boy backpack really dates it.
It does, and looking back now, it's like...
It sounds kind of ridiculous, right?
It does, but as a kid, it was like the end of the world.
Absolutely.
So the source calls these defining early events core memories.
Core memories.
Yeah, and it seems like it's saying that these memories are not just things that happen to us.
Right.
But they're like opportunities to learn something about ourselves.
Exactly. It's about how we choose to engage with these memories now.
So we have a choice.
The source suggests we do.
Okay.
We can kind of let these memories just sit there and be a source of maybe discomfort or embarrassment,
Right.
Dwelling on those past insecurities.
Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that.
Exactly. But the source also presents a more productive way to approach them.
Oh, how's that?
It's about looking back with empathy for our younger self.
Oh, okay.
To try to understand why we might have reacted the way we did back then.
That makes sense.
So instead of just cringing at the memory, we can learn from it.
So we're actively using it to grow.
Exactly.
So what about those memories that just seem to pop up out of nowhere?
What do you mean?
Those everyday moments from childhood that stick with us. It's not always the big dramatic events.
Oh, right.
Like I have this really vivid memory of the wallpaper pattern in my childhood bedroom.
Interesting.
And I have no idea why it's stuck.
That's fascinating. So the source actually talks about this.
It does.
It suggests that we can choose to explore those seemingly random memories.
We can. But how...
Even if it's not immediately obvious why they're there, we can ask ourselves questions.
What kind of question?
Like, what else was happening at that time? What might we have been feeling? It's about being curious about our own minds.
Like a detective.
Exactly. And sometimes those mundane memories can reveal some really interesting insights.
Never thought of it like that before.
I know. And then there's this quote in the source that really caught me off guard. It's from G.K. Chesterton. He says, "The poets have been mysteriously silent on the subject of cheese."
Cheese. What?
Right! Totally random. But it's kind of funny, and I think it makes a point.
What's that?
It reminds us that not every memory has to hold some profound life lesson to be important to us.
Okay, so it can just be meaningful.
Exactly. Our inner worlds are full of these little details, and sometimes they're just delightfully nonsensical.
I like that. Delightfully nonsensical.
Right.
Okay, so to wrap things up, it sounds like a lot of those childhood memories that stick around, they often show us how much we've grown and changed.
Mm-hmm.
And even those seemingly random or unimportant memories, they might actually have something valuable to tell us if we take the time to really think about them.
Yeah, it's about being an active participant in understanding our own past.
And by doing that, we can keep learning and growing.
Absolutely.
So here's something to think about as we finish up. What's a seemingly insignificant childhood memory that you just can't shake? I bet there's a fascinating story hidden in there somewhere. Until next time.
See ya. Bye-bye.